Oops, that's my face. We are live. Woodworker's Dilemma is here.
Hey Joe, I think you're the first one in there.
He is. Michael S. is in here.
Michael S., welcome buddy.
Daryl.
Hey Daryl. Glad you guys could make it.
Dad.
Hey Dad, how are you?
Trucker Kevin.
Hey Kevin.
Lori Keller.
Hey Lori Keller. So we're just still working on this pine branch. I figured I'd finish this base up, and then I'm thinking we're gonna have a little more time at the end of the live stream. And I was thinking about whittling out a little mushroom with a pocket knife. And just feel like that'd be a cool project for people to see, that you don't necessarily need all kinds of fancy tools to carve. And a pocket knife is pretty much the most basic carving tool. And it's a really rewarding experience to sit down and just whittle out something simple. I'm always kind of talking about how the mushroom is a great beginner project. And so to tackle that with a pocket knife is just a really cool thing.
Lori Keller says, how were those crawling critters you put in the pot?
Oh, the crabs. Yeah, I figured that would come up. They were tasty. They were a lot of work for the little bit of meat that you get out of each one of them. But I think it was punishment. I was supposed to catch fish that day. And wouldn't you know it, we got skunked on fishing. So we were facing a trip into town to the grocery store. And considering where we were, it's just far enough away we didn't really want to go. So we met this crab fisherman, and we ended up buying the crabs off from him and thinking that we had hit a gold mine, fresh seafood. And they were good, but not quite like lobster. So why don't we pray real quick over the live stream?
Oui.
You want to do it today? You want me to do it?
You can do it.
Lord Jesus, we just thank you for this day, Lord. We just pray for protection over the live stream. I pray that everybody that comes into the live stream would be blessed for being here. And Lord, I just pray that we represent your kingdom well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Michael says, anything I have to fight to eat, I'm leaving it alone.
That's funny.
Mark Tries to Carve is here.
Hey, Mark.
Michael says, bet it was yummy though.
It was good. Casey was good at opening those things up. And I think she loved them more than I did. was done after like half a dozen of them. Man, she just kept going.
I'm probably not going to say this right, but Sabin says hello from Iran.
Hey, Sabin, welcome from Iran.
Said, what beautiful art.
Thank you very much. So that's a new one for us. I don't think we've ever had anybody in from Iran.
And again, I'm going to say this wrong, but Bank Tradition says hello from Scotland.
Welcome from Scotland. Glad you could join us.
Rhinestone Suzanne is here.
Hey, Suzanne.
Bank Tradition says some woodchuck carving. And Jay Buggy says hello from Manchester, UK.
Welcome from the UK. We're glad you're here. Rhinestone Suzanne is our newest channel member. So we just want to tell her how much we appreciate it and thank you very much.
Ray and Sandy is here.
Hey, Ray.
Jay Buggy says get those wood nose hairs.
Yeah, we want to clean all that nose stuff right out good. I think we're going to give this guy closed eyes.
Mark tries to carve, says kind of looks like my neighbor.
I don't know how many of you are familiar with Mark Tries to Carve and his YouTube channel, but check him out. He's actually tackling a really cool project right now. It's pretty intense. It looks like a lot of work, but I think it's going to be pretty cool when it's done.
The electric whittler is here.
Hey, Electric.
And Michael asked, did you ever find out what kind of pine that is CD777?
You know, I did not. Casey's aunt lives nearby, and we visited them for dinner one evening, and they had a bunch of these near their house. And so I asked them, and they didn't know what kind of pines they were either. But I think what I'll do is maybe next time snap a picture and see if we can figure it out online. But it's definitely a hard pine. It cuts probably harder than our typical white pine would, I think. For those of you just stopping in, I don't think it's going to take us the whole live stream to finish this guy up. So we've been struggling to find a place to run the chainsaws. And so we're stuck this week doing the face carving with gouges and stuff. But I did want to tackle, I think, maybe at the end of this live stream, like a mushroom carving with a pocket knife. And to me, it's just really cool to demonstrate that you don't need a lot of fancy tools, and you can do something really rewarding just sitting around the campfire or wherever, whittling with a pocket knife. And a mushroom is a great starter project for people that might be starting out, either just starting out carving or even starting out knife carving. I carved this yesterday. We did some canoeing on a local river. We went into a place called Cypress Springs, and if you Google that, you can see what that's about online. Cypress Springs, Florida, but it's a paddle-in springs. And I just sat in there for a few hours and whittled this out. So this is done 100% with a pocket knife, and I used the Buck 110. Use the Buck 110 and my case knife here to carve that face out. And so I think I've got this extra chunk here. We may just whittle a little mushroom out of that just to kind of show people. And I think oftentimes people are shocked at what you can do with just a pocket knife. And I know it's encouraging for me because I like to go into a lot of crazy places or remote places or hiking or camping, and you can't always lug in all kinds of tools. But if you bring a small piece of basswood and a pocket knife, it's just nice to show what's capable with just a simple tool. And honestly, these small mushrooms carved out of this little wood with like a pocket knife, I've done those off and on, and I leave them around my wood shop, and those things always sell. So it's a cool project that people can do if you want to. I'm not saying you're going to get rich, but it's a saleable project. So
Joe says, for someone on vacation, you sure are getting a lot of carvings done. Amazing work there.
Thank you, sir.
And Electric says, very nice work.
Thank you, Electric. And check out Electric Whittler's YouTube channel. He's one of my best good friends, and awesome wood carver. He does a lot of Dremel carving and rotary carving and that kind of stuff. And he just did a Valentine's challenge for Aiden Fletcher's putting on a challenge. And he carved Cupid. It came out really cool. It's a nice carving. So.
And John is here. John from Canada.
Hey John, welcome from Canada. Glad you're back, buddy.
And Tucker and Gary is here.
Hey Gary. There's another guy with a cool YouTube channel. And, I sent him a sticker, Tucker and and he gave me a shout out on his channel and showed off my sticker. And I was surprised at the response that I got from it. I had people bump over and subscribe to my channel from that. So I'd say I got one of the better responses from Tucker and shouting me out. But good guy and a cool YouTube channel. He does outdoor stuff. And for those of you that know me, you know I love outdoor adventure. So his channel is very interesting for me to check out and watch. And it's easy for me to recommend it because I do love that kind of outdoor adventure. But he goes hot tent camping and that kind of stuff out in the snow, and we've been known to do similar stuff.
John says it finally stopped snowing after a few days.
Yeah, sorry about the snow. I don't exactly know what to say about that. We're usually stuck in it, believe me.
Gary says, glad to hear people came over, my buddy. Really appreciate your support and kind words. Roy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Gary, it's easy to support somebody like Gary from Tucker and I. Just a good guy. He's from Newfoundland, and if you watch his channel, you start to understand he's just kind of a genuine guy. So he's easy to shout him out. Yep.
Roy's Timber Art Timber Art Techniques is here.
Hey Roy, what's up, buddy?
Cat's Piece is here.
Cat, welcome in. Haven't seen you for a while. Cat's one of our regular people. We love Cat.
She says she's going to be hanging in the background. She says, hope you've been dancing by the ocean, Casey and Josh.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of ocean time in. Roy's Timber Arts.
Yep.
Did you make him a moderator?
Oh, you know what? I have not.
Let's make Roy a moderator. He's hanging around a little bit. We appreciate you, Roy.
Done. My honey's handmade.
Welcome in, my honey's handmade.
Mark tries to carve, so it just hit a massive knot, and now my shed smells like pine trees.
Nothing wrong with the smell of pine trees. So I like to just put like almost a little bump underneath that kind of makes the eyelids stand out. I do it on the top and the bottom. Just a very small gouge, and it creates like just a little bit of a rounded effect.
Norse Carve Craft says, hey, people just jumping in to say hello and hitting the like button off to sleep, so we'll leave the channel open for support.
Thank you very much, Norse. We appreciate it. We appreciate the like as well. If anybody hasn't hit the like button, please remember to do that. That helps us out.
Electric Whittler says that has really nice grain where the hair will be.
Thanks, Electric.
Roy's Timber asks, what wood is that?
So this is a piece of pine of some sort. It's a Florida pine. And where I'm not from Florida, I'm not 100% familiar with the tree species here. I do know it's different than our white pine. And it's much harder too. So I think it's some sort of like a red pine or hard pine or something of this nature.
John asks, any techniques on carving the eyes?
So we're doing closed eyes here, and I guess when you create the eye mound, you kind of sink in here and you sink in here, so you get a rounded effect going across. And I used to put with closed eyes, I'd draw like a straight line across from one corner to the other, and I would just put like a slit right across. And that's the wrong thing to do. If you look at a real eyeball, when they close, it almost dips down kind of toward the bottom of the eye as opposed to going straight across the center. But honestly, closed eyes are just the easiest thing to do. I've got this one over here. This is going to Aiden Fletcher, Night Owl, and And I think I'm pretty well complete with this. I've been picking away at it, and I've done a little sanding on it and that kind of stuff. So this thing is going to Ireland to Aidan Fletcher. He's one of our loyal followers of the channel. And yeah, he gave me a carving too. So, but with eyes like these, I drill these in with rotary tool. And I find that that's a small carbide burr there. It's a double cut carbide burr, and that just something like that will work really great to kind of go in and clean out around those pupils.
Well, the carving wizard is here.
Hey Perry, welcome in.
Michael S. said he's gotta go.
Later, Michael. Thanks for stopping.
Electric says it's probably yellow pine, very common down south.
Okay, there we go. Yellow pines. I'm considering Electric a expert on all tree species of southern variety. So yellow pine it is. Perry Carving Wizard, Perry Lowe's in. And I just wanted to shout him out a little bit. He's been doing some live streams, and I've been hanging out on his live streams when I've been able to. Another cool carver and a cool channel to check out.
Josh, I don't know how to say their last name, but first time I've seen them in here, asked, how long have you been doing this?
So this is my 28th year as a professional wood carver.
And Lori asked, is the yellow pine hard to carve?
This is definitely a little harder wood. I was surprised when I first cut this limb off. It's from a dead tree, a down tree. It was a freshly fallen tree, so it's still a little bit, I guess, green. But I was expecting it to be a little softer like our white pine. And, this is definitely, it's not like carving oak or maple or anything, but it's definitely a little harder than what I would have expected.
Josh says, looks amazing.
Thank you, sir.
Carving Wizard said, oh wow, I'm only 2 years in.
Yeah, you're doing really well for 2 years.
The Electric Woodler says, I think we're about to get another Josh added to our crew.
All right. Yeah, we've got a bunch of Joshes. I think we got 4 Joshes in total that hang out on the live streams here. So it's kind of a running joke that if your name's not Josh, we threaten to change your name, I guess. But Joshes are definitely welcome.
Bear and the Boss Lady is here.
Is Bear in there?
He's in there.
Right on, Bear. Check out Bear and the Boss Lady. I love shouting out other people's channels, and Bear was influential in getting me started doing live streams. He kind of encouraged me there, so he's got an awesome channel, and he's a talented carver, and a lot of fun to watch. So check out his live streams.
Rhinestone Suzanne said her husband's name is Josh, so she's Josh by marriage.
Wow, that's cool. We love it.
Team Quack Attack is here.
Quack Attack, welcome.
Got John Johnson here. I'm just not really sure what he said.
Well, hopefully he can clarify. We're glad you're here at any rate.
Roy's Timber Art says, that's wonderful. Sleeping eyes are the easiest.
Yes.
Got BH Simple Life here. We got Boss 1 from the UK. Bear says there's a cardinal in there.
Cardinal in where? Oh, the guy in the background?
This guy. Oops, hello.
Yeah. That's a Bear and the Boss Lady chainsaw carved cardinal. He gifted that to us. And Bear does a mean cardinal, man. Everybody loves that thing. You know, I've never carved cardinals before. But I was tempted to sell this cardinal, man. People seem to want to buy that thing. I may have to start carving a few of those.
BH Simple Life asks, is this the USA?
This is the USA. Where are you from?
Suzanne says, gotta run, guys. Nice to drop in. Gotta try to wrap up my first ever face carving.
Wow, later, Suzanne. Hope you're filming that. We're gonna look forward to seeing that. This is something that I just recently learned, and yeah.
Sorry.
Yep. You never stop learning. Faces aren't typically my specialty area. I've done a lot of them over the years, but I am still learning. But what I'm going to get ready to try and show you is separating the hairlines and the tufts of hair as they come off the head.
Real quick, we have Mike here. Says hello all.
Hey, Mike.
Now we have Dennis and asks, is that a buck knife?
Yes, I'm a huge knife fan, and kind of surprised how many other carvers could give a hoot about knives and stuff like this. But as somebody that loves to carve, the knife is the most basic carving tool. So I'm big into buck knives, simply because they're a workhorse. I mean, you can just hammer on these. I don't know how familiar you are with buck knives, but this thing had a lot more blade on it at one time, and I've just used it down. This has S30V steel on it. This stuff holds an edge like mad. If you can get that steel, highly recommend it. But I'm a case knife fan also. These old-timey slip joint knives. And I think we're going to carve a mushroom with these knives, kind of at the tail end of this live stream, or we actually might start it soon. But just to kind of show people what you can do and show them an easy project with a pocket knife.
BH Simple Life says they're from Bulgaria.
Okay, welcome from Bulgaria.
So they also carve wood. Says good job. Greetings from my home.
Well, we appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. If you check out our YouTube channel, CreationDust777, we do a lot of chainsaw carving typically, and we've got a lot of videos up that you can check out. But beyond that, there's a lot of people that hang out here on this live stream. If you look at the people's names in blue that have YouTube channels, and it's just a great place for community for wood carvers and artists and woodworkers. So be sure to check out their channels and definitely come on back. We appreciate you being here.
Carving Wizard says, okay, thanks for showing this CD777. And Old Path Woodwork says, shalom, shalom. And I just made them a moderator because they've been hanging out.
Hey, Old Path. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I separate these tufts of hair. I cruise around on the internet like probably most people and just looking for any little tidbit I can pick up. So I'm surprised it took me this long to figure this out, but just separating these hairlines off the forehead. And I actually learned it from watching Alec Lacasse. And that guy is just an awesome face carver. I mean, he is like, I do a lot of stuff, and I would say faces are not really my area of expertise. So to learn from somebody else, and I think if you really want to learn from Alec Lacasse, you have to take his courses, but I'm still able to pick up some little tidbits just from watching what I can.
Mark Tries Car says, I like knives, but most of mine are collector's knives, dragons, etc.
Sounds pretty cool, Mark. I actually have these ones that you see that I use, are really sweet because you do get to use them. And I like the carbon steel a lot on the case knives. It rusts and you have to take care of them. There's a little more work involved, but I do have some other more collectible kind of knives.
Mike, who I also just made a moderator because he's been hanging out too, says, really, if your name is Blue, you have a YouTube channel?
If your name is, if your name's in blue, you're a moderator. But I will say most of the moderators, or a vast majority of the moderators here, do have their own YouTube channels. And good people too, really talented people, and just an awesome sense of community.
And Royce Burke says, Alec Lacasse is a great help. I did a review for his book.
Yeah, how was his book, Roy? I'm assuming if Alec did it, I've been wanting to get it. I just haven't quite gotten there yet. But I'm a fan of getting books. I don't know if you can still get it, but Jeff Fares had a book years ago, and I think it's out of print. I think it's called Carving the Human Face. It's got a picture of a Native American Indian on the front, and that's what really stepped my game up a little bit. I learned a great deal from that book, so the how-to section's just real easy to follow along. And not all books are created equal in that regard, but if you're interested in carving the human face, if you can get a copy of Jeff Fair's book on it, I found it to be awesome and helpful.
Rick Smith is here.
Hey, Rick.
And Roy says it's a great book. I have a link on my video to Amazon for his book.
Very cool. So do you know Alec, Roy?
Rick Smith says, wow, I'm Blue. Just made him a moderator.
All right, Rick.
Roy says it shows great tips and also women's faces.
Yeah, that's one of my weak spots. I could definitely use some brushing up on that. I've not carved a ton of women's faces, but the couple attempts that I have, I'm almost a little ashamed of. So,
Dennis says, have a good day.
You too, sir.
Carving Wizard said women's faces are hard to do.
Yeah, they've definitely got some different features, and I know Matt Carves did a few videos not long ago kind of talking about the different features in regards to women's faces. But I know one of the things that is very feminine is when the nose kind of swoops out like this. So a lot of times the guy's nose kind of goes straight up, or it'll even have a bit of a hook out and kind of goes straight into a little line right there. Whereas a woman's, a lot of times, a real feminine look is if it almost kind of swoops out, almost like a ski slope shape.
Roy Stimbart said, I don't know him very well, but we always chat. And Mike says, looking good, CD777.
Thank you. Put in a good word for me, Roy, with Alec Lacasse. I'd love to get to know that guy a little.
And the boss lady said, okay, ADHD heart time. And the hearts are going. I can see them.
All right.
Cat's piece says, looking awesome, CD777.
Thank you, Cat. For those of you that, somebody was in here earlier talking about knives. And, for those of you that have never heard of Kirby Creek Mow, he's got a smaller YouTube channel, and he does a lot of whittle carving. He carves little faces just almost 100% with knives, like buck knives and case knives. But I think a lot of you would enjoy his channel. Some of his videos are kind of comical and this kind of a thing. Kind of a cool unknown channel.
Rick Smith says, I have a mallet coming from my honey's handmade soon.
Ooh, I bet that's going to be nice.
And Lori Keller says, this looks so good.
Hey, thanks, Lori Keller.
Carving Wizard said, I love the knives. LOL, just ordered a Badger Steak carving knife to add to my collection.
Nice.
Lori Keller asked, did you see the cypress trees? They look so beautiful on TV.
We have seen a lot of cypress trees. In fact, we're making long-form videos of this whole trip. So typically it takes us a while to edit those and get them out. But you're going to see, if you watch those videos, you're going to see a ton of cypress trees. And there's a lot of cypress knees as well. And people carve the cypress knees, or at least they used to. I don't know if you're still allowed to harvest those or not.
Soli Dio Gloria 22 says, "How did you get so good? Wow."
Well, thank you very much. I wish there was a miracle answer to that, but it's been just a lot of years of carving, and there's far better carvers than me as well, so it's not like I've arrived. But as far as attaining to the level that I have, it's I guess I had a little bit of natural artistic ability, but for me personally, it was a lot of years of just work. It's like anything else. If for anybody that's watching too, you guys can attain a lot further with your carvings than you probably think, would be my guess. And all you really have to do is stick with it. And it's like anything else. If you love it and you keep doing it, you're eventually going to get better at it.
Soli Dio Gloria 22 also said, "Reminds me of those trees in The Lord of the Rings. The Ents."
Yes, we hear that a lot with our tree faces.
Ken Ellis says, "I believe you can make art with almost any tool."
It's, yeah. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun just with knife carving lately. And the most basic kind of a simple straight edge. And there's actually more of a learning curve to that for me than I thought there would be. Simply because you can't get all these nice curved shapes like you can with these curved gouges. You're literally just working with a sharp edge, a sharp straight edge.
Rick says, "Send some warm weather to Ohio."
It's actually a little chilly here today, Rick. Probably warmer than Ohio, but maybe we're just getting spoiled.
I was going to say, I have a feeling that if we had this weather in New Hampshire right now, we would be like in heaven.
I don't know if you noticed, I am wearing a winter hat here.
Roy says, "It will be a pleasure to tell him about you. Hopefully you can get his book."
Yes, I would definitely. That's on my to-get list. And I have a birthday coming up soon, so that might be what I ask for.
My Honey's Handmade says he agrees that it looks like the Ents from The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I know Bear from Bear and the Boss Lady. Everybody calls these wood spirits, and I've never called them wood spirits. I always call them tree guys or face branch or whatever, branch faces. But people that are sensitive to the spiritual realm are careful about what sort of spirits they talk about, I guess. I noticed that with Bear. He's kind of funny, actually.
The Carving Wizard said, "Practicing makes perfect."
Yes, it sure does.
Mike says, "Okay, I'm on my way out. Thanks all."
Right on, Mike. Thanks for stopping in.
Roy's Timber says, "Do you use rifflers, and what make are the best, do you think?"
So there's another Alec Lacasse thing. And all the real serious old time carvers, Italian carvers, and this kind of stuff were diehard chisel and gouge, and they were fans of rifflers. And I've definitely reached the stage of the game where I can appreciate what a riffler does, and it just changes the subtle shape. It's tough with a big tool, because every time you make a cut, it's creating like a square edge. Those rifflers, they're like files, and they have all different curved shapes, and you can just put in subtle stuff. But again, I'm just like, I've never had formal training, and mostly what I've learned is kind of been on my own. But I'm just now seeing the value and appreciating what rifflers do. I actually bought a set from Amazon, and I just don't think they were very good. So that's a good question, Roy. And if I ever talk to Alec Lacasse, or maybe if I take his course, I'm sure he would have a good recommendation, because some of those rifflers are like extraordinarily expensive. There's got to be a happy kind of a medium of a solid quality tool that doesn't break the bank. I mean, you can get into thousands of dollars for rifflers. So If you have any suggestions, Roy, I would love to hear it.
Ray and Sandy just timed somebody out and I never even saw them.
Good job, Ray.
He's fast.
You must have deserved it. Ray doesn't time too many people out, so if he got somebody, I'm pretty sure they deserved it.
Royce Timber Art says the diamond coated are supposed to be the best.
So how long have we been up and going?
46 minutes. Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving is here, says looking good.
Hey, Bear Mountain. Appreciate you hanging out with us. And Bear Mountain is one of our channel members, which we appreciate very much. If you can afford it, it's awesome. And we know for a lot of reasons people can't always, all those subscriptions add up, but it is a great way to support the channel, and we do appreciate it. But check out Bear Mountain's channel. He's been posting a lot of stuff lately. He's got a really nice looking bear. He's actually quite a talented chainsaw carver, and working on a piece right now. He kind of has a guy a little bit like this that he's done with chainsaw, and he left the cracks in it, and it just adds so much character to the piece. I think I would have gone nuts trying to fill those cracks in, but when you see what he's done, it really looks quite cool. So check him out. And also Ray and Sandy, I didn't mention their channel, but I just love telling everybody about all the talent and the people that hang out here. So Ray's a woodworker. And, jump over and support his channel.
Rick Keller says, CD, what is the temperature there?
I don't think it's terribly cold, but I think it's the wind more than anything that it's just enough that it's chilly. Do you know how cold it is?
I think the high was only supposed to be like 50 or 55.
Yeah.
Which again, if we were in New Hampshire right now, that would be like
It'd be heavenly. Yeah, it'd be like springtime.
But after the like 70-degree days and stuff, feels a little chilly to us.
It's funny, we see people down here. We saw a guy yesterday, I was sweating, and in a t-shirt, and he was riding a bike, so he was exercising, and he had one of those big puffy coats, like a big puffy down coat, riding his bicycle up the street.
Paste is here, says, hi, what is this going to be when it's done?
So this is like just a face in the branch. He's kind of got closed eyes, and yep.
Show some of the other ones. Rick Smith asks, is that maple or pine?
This is pine, and I think the electric whittler, who's an expert in all things southern, is telling us it's yellow pine, so I have a tendency to trust what he says.
He says, already acclimated, Josh and Casey. Yep. Bear says, you guys been busy. Pay says, wow, very skillful pieces.
Thank you.
The electric whittler says, I wouldn't trust anything I say.
Oh, stop acting all humble, electric. We know you know what's up.
Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving said, looking mighty tan.
We've been getting our fair share of the sunshine.
Oh, you're a surgeon now, nasal drilling.
Yeah, I like to employ all the different tools.
Possum 350 Legends says nice carving.
Hey, Possum, glad you're in here. Haven't seen you, heard from you in a while. I know, you're busy with school and stuff like that. But Possum just started doing some carving and does a lot of hunting and stuff like that. He posts videos on his channel. Young guy and just a real good channel to support.
Edgar Rodriguez says the way you use your fingers is magic. Good job.
Hey, thank you. I feel like I want to jump over and start whittling that mushroom, but it's tough to leave this alone. Just want to keep messing with it.
Possum is sick.
Oh, sorry to hear it, Possum. That he is really sick too, because I don't think there's anything to hunt right now. So.
He says, guess that's what I get for Dremel carving in 20 degrees.
Brr.
Bear Mountain Chainsaw Carving says, gotta get back to work. Have a good one, y'all.
Thanks for stopping in, Bear Mountain. So I think we're going to jump over and start whittling a little with the knives. I don't know exactly how long this is going to take to whittle out a mushroom. And I don't know how exciting it's going to be either, but we're going to give it a try.
Get this out of the way.
The next time you guys see me, I'm pretty sure we've lined up a chainsaw carving live stream. So I'm pretty sure we have wood and a place to chainsaw carve. Next time you see us live, it should be, I think, a week from today. And we should be in some different surroundings, and we should be running chainsaws, so I'm kind of excited about that. Don't get me wrong, I love whittling and knife carving, but I'm ready to fire up the chainsaws again. I'm hungry for it, so I've got an idea for a pelican design in mind. And anyways.
Edgar Rodriguez says, can I see the red bird in the back? This is Bear and the Boss Ladies carving, so you should check them out. And Rick Smith says, so you survived the crabs.
Survived the crabs. Those
just barely.
Delicious, yeah. I didn't know who was going to eat who for a minute. So, a lot of people say they don't like the Buck 110 because it takes two hands to open and close, and I'm going to show you how to open it one-handed. So just pinch that blade, drop it down. It's a one-handed open, and then when you close it up, it's like that. So the new fancy newfangled knives are all the rage. You flick them open and they got little button poppers and brag about the one-handed operation. And I mean, I do have some of those knives and they are cool, but these old-fashioned knives are just great for work.
The Electric Whittler says there's a guy I watch on here that carves skulls that use air-powered dental tools. I can grab the link if you guys are interested.
Yeah, anything like that electric. If you think it's cool, I'm definitely wanting to check it out. So,
John asked, do you do owl carvings?
owls are not one of my specialties. I've done quite a few owl carvings, and I think I do a decent owl. But I think I carve such a wide variety of things. Like some people will literally grab a carving like Alec Lacasse and just focus on that and pour all of their energy into it, and they literally master that. And I do have projects like that, but over the years I've been a carver for hire, and so I've done a lot of what the public wants me to do, everything and anything that comes in through the door. And so I've specialized a lot in different types of little bears and stuff of this nature. But I would say more of a well-rounded carver than, some people will literally specialize in eagles or Bellamy eagles and this kind of a thing. And that's mostly what they do, and they get extremely good at those things. So.
Bear in the Boss Lady said, ain't it horrible we get old and have to wear reading glasses?
Hey, thanks for noticing, Bear. Love you, man.
Possum wants to see the bowl, the octopus bowl.
Show him the bowl.
Oh, is it over here? Oh, I haven't been showing that one off.
Could you grab my whittling glove too?
Sure. Where is it?
I think it's in the side of that little red carving backpack bag.
Okay. Here. You should give the safety spiel.
Yeah, guys, be real careful. Don't ever do what I do. If you're carving with any kind of a sharp tool, it's extremely dangerous. And some of my worst cuts have come from sharp gouges and knives and stuff. And I do keep these things like razor blades, so I'm not afraid or ashamed or, to put the glove on. If that thing even touches my finger, it's going to be a problem. Heaven forbid if I really wind it into my hand somehow. So be safe. Take safety precautions. I don't recommend that anybody work with tools or sharp knives or anything else.
Possum says he knows what he's doing now. Pocket knife and a chunk of wood is how I roll.
So I really wanted people to see Possum. You don't need a ton of expensive tools. I mean, I do have a lot of tools, but I like to think carving started somewhere with somebody sitting around with a pocket knife, and certainly my grandfather's generation when these case knives were popular. And you don't need a case knife either. I've got some Rough Rider knives. In fact, I have a Roughneck Rider knife.
Perry's gotta go.
Who is it?
Perry, the carving wizard.
Hey, thanks Perry for stopping in. But this is a Rough Rider knife here. And I think this is like a $15 knife or something. And it's got carbon steel, so you can just pop an edge up on that thing like shaven sharp. And that thing will wet your whistle right there. It's a sharp knife. And solid, you can bear down on it and do durable work. I mean, it's a Chinese knife where the case knife is American made. But you can get a quality knife. Look up Rough Rider knives. And,
Go ahead.
No.
Rick Smith says, I have a great Christian brother who is in the knife hobby business on Facebook. Dennis Fiskus. He carries Case, Remington Buck, and many others.
Everybody check that guy out. I'd love to kind of get people into knives and collectible knives. And I will say that Case knives hold their value pretty well. I'm not saying you're going to flip them and get rich on them, but I've actually flipped a few Case knives for reasonably good profit. And if you take care of them and keep them in good condition, they do hold their value. And it's one of the few knives that you can kind of get your money back out of. And so a lot of people will buy case knives and not even use them, literally just put them away. They call them safe queens. And with the idea of down the road being able to sell those. And, case knives are not exempt. The price of them are always going up with inflation, like a lot of other stuff. And, but just fun. It's something cool that I wish a lot more people would kind of jump in on it.
Cat's Piece says, I'm going to need one of those now. Do you use a specific brand of glove?
Casey is the one that orders these.
Is it on the tag on there? We got it on Amazon.
No cry. I like that. Yep.
Yep.
But just if you look on Amazon, I'm pretty sure that they probably actually have a variety. You know, just check out like the reviews to make sure that they actually perform well. But
yeah, Possum says you can buy a $5 lockback at Walmart if you don't want to spend a lot of money.
Yep.
And Electric says you can buy old timer case knives at Tractor Supply stores.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say about cheap knives, if you're going on the cheaper end, is do make sure that the steel is quality, because that will make a difference for how your knife performs. And I do recommend those Rough Rider knives. You can buy those at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and it's not just that it's a cheap knife, it's that it's a really good quality cheap knife, and the steel performs.
John says Tractor Supplies are gone in Canada now.
Really? I wonder what happened there.
Possum says that old timer whittling knife I showed on my channel is a good price knife, only about $20, and it has 6 different tools.
Yeah, I think Old Timer enjoys a good reputation.
Rick Smith says keep in mind the glove is only good for slicing type cuts. A stab will still puncture.
Good to know, Rick. I used to just carry duct tape, but getting soft the older that I get.
Ray is back.
Welcome back.
Says she used her son's Boy Scout knife. It worked well, but she can't remember where she put it last.
So I'm always talking about starting carving with a mushroom. It's just such an awesome beginner project. And I've chainsaw carved mushrooms and done how-to videos on that kind of stuff. So naturally carving with a knife it's still just a great project.
I think I'm gonna go get a chair.
Okay.
Do you want to maybe like take this for a second?
Sure.
Flip it around so people
Flip it
can
around
see
so
your
people
hands
can
and
see.
face.
Hey guys, there you are. Yeah, you can make your own cases and stuff like that for your knives, Possum. If you do a little bit of leather work and use things like pop rivets, and if you learn to sew a little bit. Rick Smith says gnomes are fairly easy. Yeah, that's a good starter project too. Hey Keller, here I am. All right, I'm gonna give you back to Yeah, Bear and the Boss Lady just did. I'm sure you saw our electric. He did a gnome hugging a mushroom, but yeah, those are cool projects and they're good sellers too. I like to try and put a little bit of movement into my mushrooms.
Rick Smith says his bear in the barrel was cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I missed the live stream. Where we're traveling on the road, I've been missing a lot more of the YouTube stuff than I really want to miss. But it's just kind of the season that we're in right now. And, when we get back home, we'll be back into really keeping tabs on all the live streams and stuff. But I did not catch that live stream, but I did see the result of the carving, and it was awesome. It's just a cute little carving. So I don't know if Bear, did you design that yourself, or is that a design you saw somewhere else? Either way, it's a cool carving. And
Possum's gotta go. Be back soon, he said.
later, Possum. So I'm just starting to undercut the bottom side of the mushroom here.
Bear says, I'm so excited about that one. Can't wait to finish it and make one half the size.
Yeah, I'm curious how he's gonna finish the water and stuff. Is he gonna paint that, or curious what sort of plans? I guess curious to see the finished carving more than anything.
Dad's back.
Welcome back, Dad. We've moved on. We're carving a mushroom now.
Prof Oak says that they hope you clean up after yourself.
Of course. Yeah, we couldn't leave this kind of mess laying around. If we're at my wood shop, it might be a different story. There's nothing. Got a whole yard full of sawdust and wood chips over there.
Bear in the Boss Lady says Stevie Songer did it, then Ken Packey did it. Jeff the Carver that wants to mentor me makes them and gave me the idea to try it. Got 90 people watching right now.
Wow.
It's not bad for a whittling
Yeah, it
video.
doesn't totally surprise me. I mean, one of the things about this is I want people to see, like, you really don't need crazy expensive tools, and this literally is something that anybody can do. I say that, but for the most part, most people could do this, and not only is it fun to do, but this is something you can do a little side hustle just for hanging out at the campfire and doing something fun. And when I leave these around my wood shop, they inevitably sell.
Rick Smith says it's relaxing too.
And you're trying to figure out how to put into words just the satisfaction of using such a simple tool and a piece of wood. It could be a piece of found wood, and creating something out of it. And you get that kind of rush out of a lot of projects, and most chainsaw artists Bear will tell you that he finds a lot of free wood for his chainsaw carving projects. So there's something just really satisfying about taking basically nothing and making something.
Ray says that he might do a live Saturday afternoon around 1 or 2.
Okay, Ray. What sort of goodness do you have in store for us?
Bear says sense of accomplishment.
So this is, I know some of you have seen it, but I carved this one yesterday. We went on a little canoe trip, a paddle, but this was totally done with a pocket knife, just like I'm working with now. And it's not just mushrooms. You can do a lot with the knife.
Dad says I carved with pocket knife mini a year ago. And Bear says I'm tried whittling sycamore once. That was awful.
I'm not familiar with sycamore. I know we don't have that in our area. When I was in Ohio, I had a guy showing me some sycamore trees, but I've yet to work with it. I guess I'm going to assume it's pretty hard stuff.
Ray says, LOL, not really sure yet. I was thinking about doing a bench build.
Nice. What are we going to be available Saturday? What time is it Saturday?
He said 1 or 2, I think is what he said. Yeah, about 1 or 2, and we'll be at the campground. I think we'll be all checked in and everything.
So we're going to try and catch that, Ray. And I guess as long as we have service, do you know if we're going to have service there?
I'm pretty sure we will have service, but I don't know for sure.
We'll do our best, Ray. But everybody else, definitely check that out. Ray's one of our loyal supporters, not just for us, but Bear and the Boss Lady, and he shows up on a lot of people's live streams and supports. And he does a lot of great woodworking and woodworking projects. He's got a YouTube channel, so if we can do it, we want to support him too. We recommend you do as well.
Rick Smith says, check out the book, The Little Book of Whittling by Chris I don't know how to say that last name. Fox Chapel Publishing.
Okay, we'll definitely check that out. Fox Chapel does a lot of carving books.
Bear says, CD, if you ever tried to carve a rock, that's carving sycamore.
Oh no.
Canella says, sycamore splits easily. We have lots in the Ozarks.
Sounds like oak. It's real straight grained. Just touch it with the axe and it pops right apart, but it's quite hard.
Rick says he can't pronounce the name either. Okay, glad it's not just me.
Name of
the person the book he mentioned.
Oh, you'll have to try and remember that. I'd like to look at that. I don't think I've seen too many books on whittling. So.
Let me take like a screenshot of what he said. There. John says, Rick Smith, I have that book as a digital copy. It has good information.
So I'm just leaving a little piece of bark right on the edge of the mushroom, just for character. This is basswood here, so this wood, basswood, the bark seems to want to hug on there pretty good. It's not always the case, depending on the type of wood.
The Electric Whittler says, do y'all know what the best way to do a wood carving is?
Tell us, Electric.
Whittle by whittle.
That's awesome.
And Bear says, I might be on Sunday morning this week. Might try rotary carve something Sunday night.
Nice. How are you doing on your subscribers, Bear? I know you're shooting for to hit the 10,000 mark. I haven't looked at your stuff lately. Are you getting close to your goal?
James Kenny says, looks like you're making Star Wars figurine.
It's whatever you want it to be, James. Just make sure you subscribe and like.
Like maybe like the helmet, like on the
Oh yeah.
Darth Vader helmet. I can see it. Oh, he says he has 8,734.
Wow, you're getting up there, buddy. You guys, if you're watching, you gotta help me catch up to Bear. He's beating me. Make sure you subscribe.
Electric says, Bear, is that how many times you've pressed the heart button? I actually forgot that you asked him how many subscribers he had, so he kept typing that number. He typed it twice, and I didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I think this is better for the neighbors too. It's not quite as noisy.
Rick Smith says the mushroom lamp was sweet.
Thank you, Rick.
She's walking on the grass.
What's that?
She's walking on the grass.
Wow. Don't see that very often.
Woodworker's Dilemma says, hey, I'm back for the whittling. Whoop whoop.
Hey Joe, welcome back in, buddy. I would think you would have some wood whittling, knife carving stories for us, Joe. Of all your many years of woodworking experience. And also, make sure and check out Joe's YouTube channel. Maybe somebody could post a link up there for him. I know if Electric's still in here, I bet he'll do it. But it's Woodworker's Dilemma. And Joe does some pretty cool stuff.
Thank you, Electric Whittler. You posted it. And Cat posted it. Thank you, Cat. Joe said I have the first whittling I ever did. It was in 1992. Carved it at work from an oak handle brush.
I knew you'd have a story, man. That's awesome. I love it. Down there. Most noise I've heard around here in days.
Everyone's, oh my gosh, this is also the most people I've seen outside here in days. Or actually, since we've been here. Ray says, if I can't have fun doing what I'm doing in woodworking, I won't do it anymore.
I hear that, Ray.
King Quack Attack says, cool.
Thanks, Squawk Attack. So I like using the Buck 110 for the heavy duty work. These case knives are awesome. They're just beauties. But I save them for the more fine kind of work. They're not quite as durable, I don't think, as the Buck 110. If you're looking for a hair popping sharp kind of a whittling knife, that'd be the one. Gentleman's knife kind of thing. If you're going out bushcrafting and cutting roots and chopping off branches and cleaning fish, and I recommend the Buck 110.
Dad Carter says at least you get to sit down when you're whittling.
That's true, man. Yep. And the other good thing is the knife is just a lot lighter than the chainsaw. And it's not as noisy. definitely appreciate you all hanging out with me. And I know the knife probably isn't quite as exciting as the chainsaw, but hopefully we'll have some chainsaw action for you next Wednesday.
Electric says, I find it very relaxing. And Joe said, a lot more people are likely to have a knife than a chainsaw.
That's true, and that's one of the. That's exactly one of the things I kind of wanted to showcase. I don't know if you saw, Joe. This one, I carved this yesterday. We did a little canoe trip not too far away. And I carved that out 100% with the case knife and the buck 110. So totally done with the knife. So it's not just mushrooms. There's you can do a lot of crazy stuff with the knife whittling. And I'm still learning with the knife. Honestly, I started out with the chainsaw. I started carving with a chainsaw before I started carving with anything else. And so the knife has been something that I've kind of come to appreciate after many years of carving with the chainsaw, and kind of the stuff we've been talking about. It's quiet, it's light, it's simple. And so after you've done all kinds of crazy stuff with projects and tools, and this is kind of like the root where it all starts, even though I didn't start here. And it's just something real satisfying. And when I was younger, I was all about mayhem and craziness and yanking chainsaws around and wrestling logs, and coming to appreciate the knife.
And he said, yes, I was on when you talked about that earlier today. Awesome. Spee says, gotta go. Hope everyone is having a wonderful week. God bless.
Thank you, Kat. God bless you, and thank you so much for joining us today. It's always fun to have you here.
Woodworker Dilemma says, from that side, it almost looks like you could turn that mushroom into Daffy Duck.
That's the nice thing about having artists watch you live, is they come out with all their creative ideas and different things that they're seeing. Somebody thought it was a Star Wars guy earlier. A lot of fun hanging out with artists. I've not had a lot of experience like that. Other people that are creative and see things in I guess a similar kind of a way, creative thinking.
Joe said that he can see Darth Vader now too.
Right on.
Munso is here.
Hey, Billy, welcome in, buddy.
Joe said Perry saw a dinosaur in that push stick carving I did. I would have never thought that, but it did turn out really cool. John said since you are in Florida, it could be Donald or Daffy Duck.
That's true. We're not far from where they live.
Electric Whittler said Aiden helped me paint my Valentine's Day carving. It would have never looked as nice as it does without everyone's input. And Woodworker's Dilemma says suffering succotash.
Yep, that Electric's Valentine's carving there, he carved Cupid. I mentioned it earlier, but it really is a cool carving if you've not checked out his channel. But we're getting ready to do a heart-themed thing. It does have like a different twist to it, I will say that. I don't think anybody else has done this yet, so it's going to be kind of a, I think it's going to be a cool project, but it is heart-themed, and it's basically a heart of sorts. And it seems like a lot of people's Valentine's challenge for Aiden has been heart-themed, so I just feel like Electric took it to a whole different level. It's pretty cool. So
Billy Munso says, I saw a photo of a giant 10-foot bear you carved in front of an A-frame. Was that in New Hampshire as well?
Most of my big giant carvings like that are in New Hampshire, and we did one. I know you're kind of familiar with the area, Billy, I think. We did a really big bear like that up at Cathedral Edge in North Conway. I don't know if that's the one you saw, but if it was carved on site, it was definitely, we've only done that stuff really in New Hampshire, the on-site stuff. I have carved big bears and then people have transported them out of state, so.
Billy Munso says maybe that was it. It was kind of sitting down. It was on site. And
Yes, yeah, that sounds like the Cathedral Edge job. But we made a video out of that, Billy. I don't know, what's that video, the name of the video?
I don't know.
It's, I think it's called Carving a 10-Foot Bear on Site. But I know we cut a Christmas tree in that video and that kind of stuff.
Didn't come out that long ago. It was in December.
Yeah, but if you scroll down through our playlist of videos, and you'll see the picture of the thumbnail, and it sounds like that carving.
Billy says, by the way, the bear looked awesome.
Thanks, Billy.
Mystic asks, what are you using to carve the wood?
So this is a buck 110. It's just a pocket knife, and I'm typically a chainsaw carver is what I generally do, but this buck 110, it's got S30V steel on it, and that stuff holds an edge like crazy. I mean, it's the best steel. But I love knives, and I don't know if you can see the date on there. My wife actually got me this as an anniversary present, And she had it engraved, so it's got a lot of special meaning to me. But I've always just loved the knives, the real simple mechanical design that is so useful. And some of these case knives and stuff are like pocket jewelry for men, and just beautiful little knives, old-timey knives like our grandfather would use. Now, if you're looking for a cheap knife but high quality, I would recommend Rough Rider. These things are 20 bucks or less, and got high quality carbon steel on them. It's easy to pop up an edge on them, and hair splitting sharp. Just so there's a, for somebody that wants a whittling knife that's high quality and not real expensive. Again, that's Rough Rider.
And Mystic says they subscribed.
Thank you, Mystic. We appreciate that. I think I'm going to play with the case a little bit. So the Buck 110 actually locks open. It's got a lock back, and this old case knife is a slip joint, which means there's no lock. It just pops open, and the spring kind of holds it in place. So you want to be careful when you're carving with a slip joint, because it can pop back on your thumb or something. Just be aware. This thing is just, oh my gosh, sharp. I'm watching another YouTuber that does knife videos, and he likes old-timey case knives, and maybe somebody will know who he is, but he's known for saying that his knives are sticky like a cherry-flavored fruit roll-up. They're so sharp, they're sticky. It pretty well describes this one here. So this mushroom, and now, to me, this is like the kind of the fun, almost relaxing part, is just knocking off the hard corners and refining it, putting in those subtle little kind of curves and shapes. And there's a fair amount of YouTube channels that focus on knives and man gear, and I say that lightly because there's probably women that love knives. In fact, I know there are. But Baxter's Blades is one of the channels that I follow, and he's just a kind-hearted guy. He's a little bit of a comedian. He's funny, and he'll make you laugh a little bit. But cool channel to check out if you like knives or you're trying to get into that kind of a thing. Those channels will inspire you.
Lori says that mushroom is coming out nice.
Hey, thank you.
Ray and Sandy says, my grandpa had an old Barlow that he carved with. Of course, that was back in the 60s. He passed away in 67. I miss him every day.
Yep, my grandfather's passed on too, both of them. But that's cool that you remember that old Barlow knife. And honestly, that's a lot of times the thing that'll spark people's interest is remembering a dad or a grandpa or somebody. I know Electric Whittler, I think it was his dad that left him either like a Schrade or an old timer knife, and he opens up a lot of his mail call envelopes with it, and So just cool story, cool keepsake, but you know, a lot of times it's a memory like that that'll spark an interest in knives, and people will go back and, you know, you could go get a Barlow design similar to what you remember that your grandpa had. And just a lot of fun.
West Country Mudlarks is here.
Hey, West Country. Just doing a little knife whittling today. We're going to be back making a lot of noise next Wednesday if you show up. We're going to be running the chainsaws. I'm pretty sure that we've got that lined up, and as long as everything goes well with it. This basswood just cuts like butter with a sharp knife. It's just fun.
Billy Manso says Project Farm on YouTube did a breakdown of pocket knives, testing all aspects. Good video.
Who was it?
Project Farm.
I'll have to check them out. I've never heard of that one. Some of the other channels I follow are Neves Knives. That guy does a lot of modern knives. And I do have some modern folding knives. I mean, some of the modern knives are just like a marvel of engineering. They're created to, I guess, tight parameters as far as like a machinist would consider that everything functions very well and very tight. And some of the materials like titanium handles and just the way the knives operate. I do have a cold steel knife that has titanium handles. It's a AD10, it's called. And you can get that knife in all different versions, cheaper versions, but Cold Steel makes some awesome knives. What's the one I like to take backpacking, that Cold Steel? Fin Wolf. Yeah, Cold Steel Fin Wolf. So for $37 you can buy a Cold Steel Fin Wolf on Amazon. And it's not really a great carving knife, so to say. It's more of a bushcraft camping knife, but there again is a real high quality knife for short money. And if you guys have recommendations on quality knives that are affordable, we'd always love to hear about that.
West Country Mudlark says they're working on a video out for Friday or Sunday.
Nice. Check out West Country's channel. They find all kinds of treasures, oftentimes that they pull out of the mud. I know I've got to get in and see a few of their videos. I hadn't checked in with them lately. But we're actually doing some treasure hunting here, West Country. We found a shark tooth. I've made a pendant. We're going to have a video, like a long form video. But we pulled that out of the seashore. So I know that being a treasure hunter of sorts, you appreciate stuff like that. And we found some petrified wood as well, which was a pretty cool find for us.
Rick Smith says just Carve Rob does cool knife work, and Bear says Rob is funny too.
So there's a name I've heard a lot. I think, doesn't he hang out on like Jordy Johnson's channel, or am I thinking of the right guy here? But I'm pretty sure I've heard of him. I haven't really seen any of what he does.
Billy Munso says, are you not home in New Hampshire, still on vacation?
Yeah, we're still traveling, Billy. We're just
There's the ocean.
Free spirits. We wanted to get out of the freezing cold snow and ice this winter for a little while. And so, yeah, we're out for a road trip of sorts.
Rick Smith says, yes, Jordy. Mystic asks, can I be a mod, please?
Do you know Mystic?
I don't. We usually, once people are hanging around for a few live streams, then we usually make people mods.
We just want to make sure that people are going to hang out and
Get to know them.
Yeah, we get to know you. There's a whole community of people that hang out here on a regular basis that have they're artists and woodworkers, and they have channels of their own. So Baron the Boss Lady is another one. If you hang out on their live stream and people get to know you a little bit, and it doesn't take that long. Usually the people that are pretty serious about hanging out and that really like what we're doing here, it's something they're drawn to and attracted to anyways. And yeah, we love making people mods.
Yep.
But we try and moderators have a job too, and they're here to catch bad comments and foul language, and we're kind of a family, I guess you would say, family safe kind of stuff. We try to keep it clean, and hey, I fall short in some areas once in a while. I say something, Casey will look at me and like, yeah, but yeah, nothing too horrendous.
Billy Munso says that he's very jealous of that view. You're not missing anything at home. So cold.
Yeah, trust me, Billy. I've done it for a lot of years, man. It's funny, the New Hampshire winters are, some years they're not that bad. And then other years it's almost like full time just fighting the elements between shoveling the roof and plowing the driveway. Sometimes you get into a pattern where there's 2 storms a week, and it's like, man, it eats up your progress. You might as well have just left for the winter, Other years aren't too bad. I'll tell you what I do miss is ice fishing. We typically like to catch lake trout through the ice in the wintertime. And we got in one trip, and Casey and I both caught a couple of nice lake trout before we left. So we did film that. And
Billy says this year was horrible compared to the last couple.
I know before we left it had been, we didn't have a ton of snow, but it had been just bitterly cold.
Mystic says, I like your profile picture. Are you talking about CreationDust? Ours?
So you can always go back and sand these too, these little mushrooms.
It says yes, sorry. He likes your profile picture.
Oh, with the big moose, yeah. If you go to our YouTube channel, CreationDust777, and you can actually watch us carve one of those big 12-foot moose. And we made a whole video on it. I think it's about 15 minutes long. It's not too big of a watch, but a lot of big joinery in that, and interesting project for sure.
Bear says they are catching walleye through the ice on Lake Erie, but I don't have time to go.
Well, if you go do that, you better invite me. Something else I've always wanted to try, and I don't remember exactly where they do it. I want to say it's like Minnesota or something, but they actually spear sturgeon through the ice. They'll sit in like a bob house or an ice house, and they'll wait for the sturgeon to swim underneath, and they actually spear them. And I don't know, I've just been intrigued with that. I'd love to go on one of those sort of adventures.
Michael S. is back.
Welcome back, Michael.
Says, heck yeah, I'm checking back in and just seen you hit 4K subscribers. Hey,
all right.
That's pretty cool.
Woo! Thank you guys so much. We appreciate that.
Mystic says 4K subscribers. Let's go. Baby Kisses is here.
Baby Kisses is in there?
Yeah.
All right. One of our best good people right there. So we're whittling with a knife, Baby Kisses. I feel like you would appreciate it. We got a case knife here, and I started out with a buck 110, but just whittling out a little mushroom. And next Wednesday, I'm pretty sure we're going to be running the chainsaws again. So Get ready for noise and mayhem. Yeah, you can sand these little mushrooms all up. I kind of like the tool markings personally. I like to leave that on there. I might hit it lightly with sandpaper. Up here where the grain changes, I'm having trouble getting in there. You can see some little fuzzies popping up, so I'll probably sand that kind of stuff out. Just a little bit of light hand sanding. But just an awesome project, fun, satisfying, honestly. Most people can do this. And I do this when we go camping. If I'm sitting around a campfire or if we're on a canoe trip, and I'll throw a little piece of wood and a sharp knife in my pack, and maybe I'll take a minute and carve something, or maybe I won't have time, but just a fun little thing, and you can sell them.
Baby Kisses says, I've had my floorboard and my car full of wood chips.
Yeah, that sounds like my car's Baby Kisses. I'm usually climbing into my truck all covered in sawdust from chainsaw carving. It definitely has a tendency to collect, but it also provides a nice aroma, wood chips on the floor, so there's advantages to that.
Billy Munso says, what is the story behind the name CreationDust777?
So basically, Billy, 7 is the number of creation. God created the world in 6 days, and he rested on the 7th. So the number 7 has a lot of biblical symbolism, and so we're definitely creating, and we're made in the image of our Creator. And so we have a natural desire to want to create things. And so when we create, we actually, a lot of times when we're making using power tools or chainsaws, we're making dust. So we're creating dust. And again, 7 ties into that because it's the number of creation. When the good Lord created man, humankind, he actually used dust. So dust is a result of our creation, and when God created, he literally used dust to create human beings, and then he breathed life into their nostrils. So that's kind of where it comes from.
Mystic says, I have to go. Have a good day.
Okay, Mystic, thanks for stopping.
Team Quack Tech still here.
Right on, Quack. We love you, man.
Ray and Sandy says, more snow moving into Cincinnati tonight. I'm sick of it. Go away, snow.
I wonder if Bear's sick of it yet. He loves that stuff.
West Country says, we never get snow in the southwest of the UK. Bear says, Ray, Rick, and I are both using our leaf blowers to blow it your way.
Oh, man.
Billy asks, is there a meaning behind the 3 7s?
I just figure 3's better than 1.
Bear says, I love it. I want 4 feet of snow. You're a sick person. Joe says, teens and 20s for lows down here the next few days. Wow.
Man.
He's in Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I think Joe's probably like 4 hours away from us or something.
It's time to go further south.
Yeah. Joe, man, if you want to come over for dinner, jump in the truck. Having, what are we having tomorrow? Fresh fish?
Yeah.
Fresh fish.
We are in like the Pensacola area. Yes, where we are in Florida.
Santa Rosa Island.
Santa Rosa Island.
It's right near Pensacola.
Electric says it's 36 in South Carolina right now. Lori Keller says we're probably having crabs. Nope.
No.
Not doing that again.
Casey's aunt turned us on to like a local fish place, I guess. It sounds like the fish literally, it's fresh, like literally right off the boat. And they take it in the store and fillet it up and sell it. I guess there's usually a big line. It's like a thing. So we're looking forward to real fresh fish. And I'm even thinking about making some ceviche. I don't know if you guys have ever had that. But Casey and I went on our honeymoon to Costa Rica, and they had ceviche, and man, I just can't get over it. Ever since we had that, and basically what it is raw fish. I think like red snapper, and then they pour lemon juice over it, and the lemon juice actually turns the fish white, almost as if it were cooked, and they put cilantro and other stuff, and it's just mouth-watering. It's so good. It was so good. So I'd love to try that again.
Canella says, love your explanation of your channel's name.
Thank you, Ken.
Billy says we're having frozen gators.
Wow.
Baby Kisses says my son is in New Orleans this week. Lori says she always wanted to try a gator. Rick Smith says gator is good.
It is. I think people say it's like snake. It tastes like chicken, I guess.
Electric Whittler says, have you guys encountered any wildlife since you've been in Florida? We've stayed away from the armadillos.
We weren't sure. We weren't sure if you're pulling our leg or not, Electric. You know, like when the tourists come to New Hampshire, we pull their legs a little bit when they start asking about the black bears. So we're kind of sitting here saying, man, is this thing really going to break our jaw, or is Electric just trying to get us riled up here? What have we seen for wildlife? We haven't seen a lot, I'll say that.
What else?
Oh, we saw one of those giant birds landed next to us on the beach here.
We don't even know what it is, though.
But this thing was like over 3 feet tall. It was some sort of a big ocean crane bird kind of. We got it on film. It's going to be in one of our videos. And it was so cool. I would love to carve it, you know. It's kind of inspiring a carving. We saw dolphins when we were in South Carolina. We have the canoe with us, so we put the canoe in a tidal river, and we were trying to fish for redfish, and the fishing wasn't real good, but we kept having dolphins surface all around, like really close to us. And so Casey is like a huge, any kind of animal, she just wants to snuggle them. She loved that, so it was a very cool experience for her to be able to see the dolphins so close. And I caught a shark on the pier the other day, pier fishing.
All those fish in the spring, that was cool.
Fish. Oh yeah, we went to, if you guys, you can check it out, you could Google it, but Google Cypress Springs, Florida. And we paddled into this spring and just clear turquoise water. And you could see fish swimming around, schools of them. And I'm pretty sure we captured that on film too.
Baby Kisses asked, was it a pelican?
No, it wasn't a pelican, although we have seen a good amount of pelicans.
Woodworker Dilemma says, armadillo are thick near me and they destroy my yard. I mean destroy.
Wow. Of course, we Got to see some pesky crabs up close. We've seen a few deer on the sides of the road. You want to talk about little tiny deers? Oh my goodness. I don't know if we're just seeing all the small ones or if they just grow them small here. And I'm pretty sure they're white-tailed deer, just really small ones.
Because she says she told her son the spider story.
Yes, yeah. It's probably worth telling. That's entertaining. You want to tell it, Casey?
No, you can tell it.
Make me tell it.
Yep.
So we were camped in Florida at a campsite, and it's getting dark. We're sitting out next to our little campfire we had, and we see it looks like dew in the grass. Our headlamps are on, and it's picking up all these little like glitters, like thousands of them, hundreds of them, just everywhere, glittering in the grass. And I'm thinking drops of dew. And so Casey gets up and looks, and each one of those little glitter things was actually a spider eye. So the whole place was just crawling with spiders. And, we learned to coexist with them.
Roy's Timber Art says, do you have any Helvey knives?
No, I think that's like a straight up carving knife, like Doug Linker might use, if I'm thinking of the right thing. And just a real big fan, Roy, of these old timey. I just can't get them out of my system. These old timey case knives, and people have mentioned Schrade and old timer. I like the case, but I've got three knives in here. All three of them are like razor blades. So this one right here is particularly scary, and scary sharp, anyways. But yeah, why have one knife when you can have three? And just a thing of beauty, too. I love the folding knife. But I think those Helvey knives are nice knives. I wouldn't say anything bad about them, that's for sure. I think if people are trying to do real itty-bitty miniature work, like some of those Doug Linker carvings, those little 3-inch tall full figures, like little hillbilly carvings, and I could see where a real small carving knife like a Helvey knife would be a real advantage for that.
Billy says it's like having 3 sevens.
That's right. I like you, Billy. That's good. So, I'm mostly done with this. Sort of thing, you can't leave it alone. You just keep picking at it and picking at it.
Bear says, yes to go. Time to give praise to our Creator and have an entertain of encouragement with our brothers and sisters.
All right, Bear, have a good evening and be blessed. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. And hopefully we're going to see you guys here, I don't know, I guess a couple weeks or so. I've got to get it with Michael S. and work out a date. I think it's going to be, is it the 8th?
Yeah, Saturday the 8th.
Saturday the 8th, so stick that in your wherever, and just keep that in mind. But we're going to talk to Michael soon. What do you think, Chief? How long have we been going?
2 hours and 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Roy says, I have a Flex Cut Carving Jack 2.0 for when I go for a walk in the woods. It has 2 knives and 4 gouges in it.
So some of those carving knives are really interesting. I think Alec Lacasse has been, I can't forget which one it is that he's been showcasing. I know it's very expensive, but those are intriguing to me because they actually have some of those actually have like a little gouge kind of a shape in their folding, and yeah, those are cool.
Joe and Billy both have to go.
Have a good night, guys. I think we're not going to be too much longer here, so appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and just awesome to hang out with the community.
Mark tries to carve his back.
Hey, Mark. We're whittling out a little mushroom here. I don't know when you left, but just a little knife whittle. We're actually getting ready to, I think, wrap it up.
Roy asked, do you use any oil to help the grain pop?
These little carvings, I'm trying to remember, what are we typically finishing these with?
You've urethaned them.
Yeah, I think a good finish for these is like if you use the oil-based urethane, it has a tendency to yellow the wood. So depending what kind of wood you're working with, that might be desirable. This is basswood, so it's so white. I like to use the polyacrylic on the lighter woods. It's a water-based urethane, and it just keeps the wood looking more of like a white kind of a color, you know what I mean? And so that'd be a good option, I think, for this.
Aiden Night Owl is here.
Aiden, welcome in, buddy. You should show Aiden his car. I'm just about done with your carving, Aiden. I've been sanding it and stuff like that.
There he is. Electric asks, will you leave the bark on the back of the mushroom?
Yeah, this basswood, the bark likes to hug on there pretty good. Not all woods will do that. This basswood is nice and dry, so I know it's on there to stay. And some woods, as they dry out, the bark will want to pop off on them, but this is hugging on nice, so to me that's a little bit of nature left right on the carving, a little bit of character. Heck yeah, I'm keeping it.
Night Owl says, oh wow, awesome, absolutely love it, guys.
Yeah.
Baby Kisses says the bark is pretty on it.
So I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'll do a little bit of hand sanding, but yeah, that's about it, I guess. I just want everybody to know that you don't have to be an artist to carve a mushroom. If you do it, be safe, get a safety glove, and you can most likely find some free wood. And you don't need a lot of tools, a lot of expensive tools, and it's just a good way to whet your appetite as far as wood carving goes. And just a fun, satisfying project. I mean, I've been carving for quite a number of years, and I still just, I just love this. So I hope it inspires somebody to pick up a knife and safely carve something.
Michael S. says, absolutely awesome, CD777.
Thank you, Michael.
Electric Whittler says, very nice. Night Owl says beautiful with the bark on it. Baby Kisses says I hope you're dragging some home to carve up. Lori Keller says that mushroom came out nice.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much. And
Baby Kisses says you should give Michael some basswood. I bet he'd whittle it.
Michael S.
That's what Baby Kisses says
All
that you
right.
should do.
Yeah, well, I think we can arrange for that. And yep,
We have an extra safety glove too.
yep. So do you want to talk to him about the verse of the day, Chief? Is that your...
I'll let you do it. I'm gonna
let me
grab.
do it?
Yep. I'll go grab it.
So we usually do a verse of the day. This is actually inspired by Electric Whittler. He has all kinds of verses and different sayings of wisdom on his workbench. And again, check out his channel. Just awesome flavor over there. But it's not a sticker on my workbench, but it was definitely inspired by Electric. Casey picked this one out today. I didn't really have anything on my heart, so to speak, that I wanted to share. So what she came up with is God is our refuge and strength, a very present
Help in trouble.
very present help in trouble. Psalm 46:1. And then the other one is be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. And I like those, so I definitely can see the beauty in that. A lot of times our minds get racing and in overdrive trying to keep up with the hustle and the bustle and the busyness of life and the concerns, and sometimes just to be still and know that he is God. And it was great advice. I know Electric Whittler has a saying on his workbench. It says, God's got this. And so that's just something else. It encourages me every time I watch his stuff. It's just a little bit of solace, and it's the truth. So one of the things they told us at church not too long ago, I think it was the minister's wife, and her name's Angel, but she said, let God quiet you with his love, almost like a child that's having a temper tantrum and they're all riled up, and they go to their parent and they just kind of quiet them. And so that's what the good Lord's kind of like a father, and he's a good father. So that's about all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Tune in Wednesday, next Wednesday, a week from today. We're going to be firing up chainsaws and going crazy. So see you then.